So welcome to the first episode of Shitboxes, or Best Builds. Let's find out what we got. Now, normally whenever I judge camps, I judge them on a scale of 1 to 10. I use that scale to be fair to the builders as much as possible and to give them as much leeway. I give them 1 point for doing something that has a bathroom in it, and I give them 2 points for doing something with a prefab. Now, the benefit to doing that is that it gives me a hard and fast level to begin judging a camp by. Right there is 3 points you can have or can't have, so that limits the points down to 7. Everything else is based off of what you build and how well or unwell you build a camp. And thanks to Best Builds, because people aren't actually at their camps anymore, I can just go around and take a look and see if there's any on the board at any given point in time, as you can see. I can look for a camp in any area, and as you'll notice here, there isn't one. So I will be jumping worlds to find something else. This is the first world in a long time I've jumped on that hasn't had at least one floating around. But, you know, to each their own. So, here's the deal. Best Builds is a new feature that was added with the newest update. We'll get an update tomorrow, by the way, on the 17th. Best Builds was the devs' attempt at allowing camps to be visible on multiple servers so that players that are builders can get a little bit more recognition for their stuff. I understand it. It's a good idea and a poorly executed one in the fact that they have you mandatorily going to these camps and issuing likes or dislikes. Actually, there is no dislike button. The like button is all you've got, and you can like a camp, but you can also unlike a camp. Just so you know that. You don't have to like the camp that you're at, or you don't have to leave your like with it unless you actually do physically think it's a good camp. Needless to say, I don't really see that on most of these things. I've found 3 so far out of the few hundred camps that I've looked at that are decent, and they'll be in this video. I'm also going to include some others that are not decent. We'll see what we can find. See you in a bit. So here we are. This is the best build that I found on this server. It's the Appalachian West Virginia camp build, and it is by Gamer CMH, and it's got 3 likes. Let's take a quick peek at this place. So first, let me tell you the location we're at. This is the Nuka-Cola plant down here by Kanawha, and this is the Camden Park, and we are just south of the Lewis and Sons Farming Supply. Now, as you can see, they have gone out of their way to display some power armor racks. All of these are empty except for the one set of power armor. They have gone out of their way to put out their little, labels on stuff. Let's go ahead and get this completely around here. Got their follower out here. All their garden plots are, set on this raised platform. Got a few extras stuck out here. Most likely from a build challenge that they needed to, throw in there, build up 5 things of corn. Or 5 plants, and that's where they set it at. Usually whenever I do this kind of thing, I at least stick an outhouse nearby. Not some floating, and this is floating, by the way, butterfly sanctuary. Now, coming in from the front door, which is right here, you notice the house over there, that's the one with the roach in it. And you can get a wedding ring from it if you haven't ever been there before. Highly recommend checking it out. The decor overall isn't bad, except for the wallpaper and the kind of fact that they don't have a window here, but they have the curtains. They have a window over here, but not over here. You got a window over here with some curtains, a window in here with some blinds, nice merged sink, a few odds and ends set out on the table, popcorn machine, another missing window with some blinds. Powers ran kind of liberally around. If you are a builder and you're building a house, let me point this out to you. There is no reason for you to have power lines inside your house, even if you have an item like this that requires power lines. There are ways to get around it. Really easy ways to get around it. Like turning this into a door, running the power line through the wall, using conduits, using a two-piece setup, and having it reattach up there. There's like 1,000 different ways to get around it. This is just, it shows that the person building it either doesn't know those tricks or puts no forethought into what they're doing before they do things. I mean, this right here, this little half wall here, opening, you might as well have just gone ahead and stuck a wall in here to make it look better supported. It would have looked better overall. Because right now it just looks kind of half, well, assed. Got the floating ducks. They tried to merge stuff at least, so I can give them points for that. But I can't really give them points, and this is like the absolute worst cabinet to use to put a sink in. Because fundamentally it is like all the drain, like these drawers, there's no point in even having them there. It's just worthless. Just completely worthless. And they should have used these curtains downstairs versus the, or at least the long red ones, and they didn't even bother to put any like railing or protection here to keep you from falling down. They built this lovely little thing up here, which is kind of like a lighthouse, and you can't even get into it. There's like, it's there, you can see it, it's open, it even has freaking curtains in it. So what's the point of that shit? So on a scale of 1 to 10 is how I grade camps, and I'm usually pretty lenient on most camps. Like this, I would honestly say it probably rates about a 4 on my scale, but it's also a Best Buy camp. Yeah, Best Buy camp. Best build camp, so it doesn't really rate that, to be honest. And I don't know who's setting stuff off, but it's kind of funny. And meanwhile, like, this is a best build camp, right? So you can vote on this. This over here is just Kawakawa Muamua's camp, which is basically a floating platform above the water with some water purifiers underneath it. It is by definition a dumpster fire. It is like the biggest piece of shit in the area. You've got that piece of garbage sitting there. And then you've got this awesomely Nuka-Cola themed camp over here that was built by Literic, I think was the name of the guy. Yeah, Literic 7's camp. It's this awesomely themed out Nuka-Cola themed camp, like it's a traveling carnival type thing. And it's right down by, of course, the Nuka-Cola plant because, you know, why wouldn't you do that to yourself and your people every once in a while if you work there? It's not a bad little camp. It's done well. There's a bunch of nice little merges. Quite a few interesting item placements and, you know, just general decent builds that, like this right here, I actually like this a lot. It's a nice way to cover up the Camden Park stove while giving you a Nuka-Cola themed stove out of one of these chest freezers that don't actually do anything really anyway. As I said, a lot of the vending machines, not video games, but like the roller ball games, the carnival type games, all of these things are from the Nuka World on Tour, including like the stands here and different statues and different crap like that. I mean, it's not a bad little camp. And this camp took a few days or hours to put together. Where this camp over here, I can throw that thing out in less than 10 minutes. This is why dumpster fires exist. Litterix camp would probably be about a 7, by the way. He's got some complex building techniques going on in the walls and the building shapes and different things like that. It's a really well done little camp. I only have a couple things that I would really dig him for, and that's majorly because like this place here needs supports. It should have something going down. Hello, little robot. But that's my personal opinion, and I mean, depending on how you set it up, it could go either way. But yeah, not a bad little camp. Definitely a bad little camp. And the sad part is, even the best build here is better than that camp. It's just loads better. Like, ridiculously better. Okay, I'm going to go over here and check out this Appalachian apartment barracks, because apparently there's multiple builds on this one server, where the other one had none. This one actually has 2. My God. What am I going to do with myself? But kind of wish I could have one of him floating around behind me, just, you know, running around like Eddie. Kind of miss it. But, you know, we got Pit Boys. What do we need robot companions or any kind of companion for in this game? That can't leave our camp and looks like shit. Alright, let's take a look at this place. So, first thing you need to know. They're using this stupid weather machine. Second thing you need to know. That's Bogtown up there. That's the Veiled Sundew Grove. That means underneath this road, there's that big cave that runs underneath here. And as it runs underneath, it comes out at places like this. So they have a few water purifiers, a burnt out old building that's here on its own. If I remember right, I think that sign is here on its own as well. They're using prefabs. They don't even have, like, if you're gonna put out a fence like this, at least have something there for it to be anchored to. All I'm saying is, you just gotta flip it around the other direction and stick one in. We don't have the posts, but there are ways of getting around that. This truck is here the entire time. That is theirs. That is here the entire time. This is a prefab, the Ranger Tower, which I think is kind of funny. But they put all of these handrails up around it to keep things from getting in here. and try and make it look a little safer, but they should have just used the wooden ones. And then because they've also stuck out their own extra billboards, you got the power lines that they have running to those things. I mean, I don't know. This isn't decorated badly. It's just the Vault Tech railings kind of detract from it a lot. This thing, let me just double check here who built this place. Zarazusta. I think this person plays on the PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. There's no point in checking their vendor because you can't buy anything from it anyway. They have the stairs going straight up into their bedroom. Then you come over this way. Got a little pony wall here because they didn't even everything up. And you've got their exquisite room of collectibles and junk. You come around this way and it goes down into their workshop area. And I do this a lot. I will not, well, not necessarily that mat, but I do put mats down in front of my work tables, usually to figure out if the spacing's right between the table that I'm using and another one that's on the other wall. They have a little bit of junk decoration going on. A few things positioned in here. If you have this freezer, you need to put it in every single one of your builds if you put stuff in it. Because if you don't, the stuff will go bad as soon as you open one of the builds that doesn't have it. This place isn't even... This is what I mean by these builds are kind of like dumpster fires. This thing isn't even done, and I'm not going into his shelter. I'm not going to do it. Totally refuse to do that shit. The fact that this place is empty really doesn't bode well for the shelter, in my opinion. They have the Rainmaker thing going on. I mean, it is just... This is a shitbox of a build. On my rating scale, it would still rate like a 3. But it would rate a 3 because of the fact that, like, they tried. Not because it was actually done well. These walls don't even match up. This is the reason why he has that little pony wall in the middle. It's because he or she did not get their foundations evened up before they started building shit together. And it's easy to do, by the way. You can do tiered foundations simply by using the stair posts to get it. Because one post is literally half a wall high, and the other post is literally a full wall high. So you can use those two posts to position your foundations to get your floors evened out. So you don't have that issue. It's just such a crap show. My God. And this one isn't even the worst one that I've seen. That's the sad part. The worst one that I've seen, I wasn't even recording. I feel sad for that. It's terrible. Alright. Well, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to try and find us some more. Hello and welcome back. So we are right now at the colorful Appalachian bar build. Holy crap. Oh. Let's see who made it. Lynch Bear. Sounds like a great name to me. He's got 10 ranks, 10 thumbs up. We are here at the monorail, right before the monorail elevator. There's that one right here that we're at. It's just north of the Bounty and south of Foundation outpost. Let's see now. We've got the gigantic dinosaur. Nobody likes a red Bronto better than Lynch Bear because he likes to lynch people. We've got the new Deathclaw cooker, which is kind of appropriate because they spawn right over there, wherever those super mutants are. You got a junk node that you can't access because the way they position this place. We've got a weather machine that is not turned on. A bunch of Mothman crap because, you know, CHS Lynch Bear, so is Lynch Bear Chinese maybe? Maybe. Go up this way. Wildwood Tavern sign. Got our...
March to your own beat. Or waltz, or...
I wish that they would give these people the
anything.
ability to take a bath.
It's your beat.
She needs one. And this is a best build. A bunch of little vendor stuff. Really cute. Not badly put together overall. Well decorated. These shelves are a pain in the butt. Even if you know what you're doing, they're still a pain in the butt. Power is nicely, you know, concealed within things. I like the TV into the fireplace. That's a nice touch. All the bobbleheads. Just a bunch of junk. Heavily decorated, junky camp. Not bad. A bunch of merges. Workshop. I mean, it's not a bad little camp. One suit of power armor. There's that freezer I was warning you guys about. So the only thing that they're missing, we got a hot tub. And they might not be missing. Let's just double check over here. There we go. So they have a bathroom that's functional, complete with a washing machine and dryer. You've got a bedroom, a house, displays. It's a little gaudy. I mean, you know, like John Gotti. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's about an 8. I've seen better, I've seen worse. Actually, take that back. I'd say it probably rates about a 7. It's right up there with Litterix Camp. It's on par with it. It's just not... Litterix has a little bit more polish to it. This one just needs a little redesign and maybe a big red dinosaur to go away. That's my personal opinion, though. But yeah, not bad. Not great, but not bad. So the reason why my camp didn't spawn here on this server is there's another one of these things up here. But there's another one here as well called the Forest Farm Home Build. We'll go take a quick peek at it. I'm going to have to start getting some caps on this character again because I'm burning through them. Not that that's a big surprise. I burn through caps like other people burn through like their underwear. And if you're burning through your underwear, you might want to go see a dietitian. Just saying. Okay, we'll wait for a second here. Let's just open this up for a minute. I think it just froze up. Alright, so this is where we're at today. It's called a cabin for a secluded build. It is one of the new, what do you call them? I don't know what you, it's Miss Stereotypical. And it is a best build. It has 6 thumbs up. By the way, you can unlike and like these things as much as you like if you need it for a daily. So right off the bat, it's a cabin. Like they said, it's pretty stereotypical. Built with the old, well, the newest cabin wood set that looks like the oldest cabin wood set. They use the wooden foundations versus the concrete foundations, which works with this kind of build. I mean, because, like, you know, in all honesty, in most cabin situations, they would have crawl spaces underneath so that they could either use it for storage or they could use it for running pipes or any number of things, to be honest. So it works for that. It's in a decent enough little location. It's in a low-level area of the forest. It's not likely to get attacked. It is a best build, as you can see. Aesthetically, it looks like a cabin. The only problem that I've got with it is, well, the problem I have with all the cabin sets, really, is the half walls. They don't really have any windows in them. They need a good window in the half wall somewhere. But that's not her choice. She just tried to make everything look uniform, which I get. And, I mean, as far as design work goes, it's not bad. I like the little step up here, because, you know, different layers, different build heights. I don't like the fact that the floors are kind of jacked up. You can tell whenever you use, you know, same pattern floor throughout, and then all of a sudden one's janked like this, going this way. It's not hard to fix, but it is if you've already placed the stairs. Best thing she could do with this is probably pick a different pattern for this one tile, like it was a tiled area that they had when they came up the stairs. Or put a rug down over top of it. Rugs hide a lot of mistakes and errors. So this is the workroom. This is their display room. It's the kitchen, which they need a refrigerator of some kind. And this is the bedroom upstairs, which isn't bad. I mean, I've seen way worse. Way, way worse. And they also built a bathroom. Okay, so I rate camps on my channel, as you know. And I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you have a bathroom, I automatically give you a point. If you use prefabs, I automatically give you 2 points. Because, well, a prefab effectively cuts down your workload, but also means that everything else is done creatively, meaning your decoration and things like that. This place doesn't have a lot of decoration, as you can tell. There's not a lot of wall decor. There's not a lot of things other than the stuff that you collect in game. I can't give them a negative for using what they have, nor can I say that it's a bad build. It's actually a fairly decent little build. It is by far not perfect for the reasons that I've already stated, but it is also not a horrible build. So we're going to go ahead and judge this one. I'm going to give, I honestly think it deserves like a 5 or a 6. It has potential. It's a good layout. If they opted to use some different materials other than the cabin set, it would be honestly higher to because you could do more with it. But also the fact that the cabin set also cuts down on the amount of material they need to use as far as their decorations, because you really can't do anything with it. So their budget should be incredibly high at this location. I'm not going to give them a knock for the planter boxes, because I understand if you wanted to make them level, this is the easiest way to do it. It's also probably the easiest way to set up your floors on that interior section there at a different height than the exterior, if you don't know how to do it any other way. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a good solid 5. So, congratulations. First one that I found that actually rated above, well, a 2. Amazing. Alright, so here we are on the map. We are just north of the Mothman Museum at Point Pleasant, just south of the Black Mountain Ordnance. And we are just west of the pig on the map. You can see it right here. This place is called Pavilion Amberbuild. It was built by Twin Whale 33891. It has 0 likes, which you'll understand why in a minute. As you can see, it doesn't look too bad from this angle. That's because we haven't entered into their weather zone yet. They have guns down here. It's probably a low-level build, I would guess, but I can't really say for sure because some of the items are a higher end, meaning they've been playing for a while. You've got ghouls that spawn right over there by that little umbrella. You've got a junk node right here that's an easy resource to grind.
Floating in space forever.
You've got a floor that is mismatched and laid as poorly as possible. You've got the Shenandoah map, so they must like that area. And they've got the bear plaque out and the thrasher out, because nothing says, you know, camp design like a giant naked turkey in the middle of your camp. You got the riverside rotunda of musical instruments that, you know, will never be played by any of their friends, because, you know, who in their right mind would want to come here and hang out? This place is just kind of, eh. They've got a bed that's outside over here for those truly exhibitionist people in their kind, and a warm, friendly group that, you know, have to lay out on a 4-poster bed and show off. Either that or it's for their ally who, you know, is running around. And now this is the makeshift mansion, if I remember right. It's the one that's made out of trailers and shipping containers, and it's basically a ripoff of a few other notable things, like the stack in Ready Player One. It's not a bad design overall. The build, I mean the prefab, not necessarily what's built here. What's built here is just kind of eh. It's decorated, it's got stuff on it, it's got stuff in it. It's got a fireplace with no chimney. It's got, you know, not bad overall. Aesthetics-wise, I mean, other than the Bethesda-esque aesthetics with the plants sticking through the stairwells. But, you know, you expect that. It's Bethesda. It's a Bethesda game. But
I just can't
we, the
shake these
players, do not have
nightmares.
to
Floating in space forever.
copy
Just
their mistakes.
Why?
Alright. And they have way too many guns here for what they've got. But if they got rid of 2 of these cannons, for instance, they'd have a lot more build budget and could actually build something out here on their dock that was worth building. They have a few plants lying around on the ground that they didn't really plant. If I remember right, these spawn here pretty much naturally. And their ally, although her head condition is really terrible, I mean, they could have given
Oh,
her an outfit at
I
least
thought
to
I
make
heard
it look
someone
like she
around here.
was, you know, doing something. But, I mean, the shiny spacesuit look is pretty good. And then she's got the zipper fly trap for her bum, so, you know, you could, how should I put this? Infer that she might be using that bed to make some money for the camp. But we'll just go ahead and leave that alone. Oh boy. And if you want things to sit on top of your tables, merge things down from the top. This is what happens when you don't bother to merge them. And you just try and sit them on top of the table. It just kind of magically floats to the top. If you're wondering about merging, there's a video in the tutorial section on the channel for you. So on a scale of 1 to 10 is how I grade everything. You get 2 points for a prefab, 1 point for a bathroom, and the rest is based on creativity when there is some. The only relatively cool thing about this place is the fact that I don't have to see it every day. But hey, that's just a me thing, and I didn't build it, so I don't have to take credit for this dumpster fire. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 because, you know, the prefab gives them 2. I'll give them a point for basically making an attempt, and we'll just leave it there for now. So this is the Forest Arcade Amusement build by Rhett Putin. He's got 12 likes on this build. Now, you guys might not know this, but you can unlike something and re-like it to get the dailies done. You don't all have to just like whatever's on your server, and especially if you don't like it. I'm just letting you know that in case you needed to know. Alright, so this place is built on the railroad track, and it's right by Slocum Joe's, just north of Sutton, just west of Arctos Pharma, and just east of the Wayward. It is right above Interstate 59, where the quest starts for the new area in the valley, if you want to go just check out Skyline Valley. We're going to walk around it first to take a quick peek. As you can tell, they have enjoyed their time in Atlantic City with all of the neon and all the stuff, and the camp is built fairly well. Except for, like, you know, the fact that this part right here is floating off the ground. And I have a feeling that's due more to the fact that that rock is there and they couldn't get another foundation in, because they went to a lot of trouble to put these other foundations in to reinforce the idea that it was supported, including hiding their shelter entrance underneath it. So,
where are my little elves? No,
but as I said before, you
really?
can see all the
I
Atlantic City
fear
stuff
for
that's
their
out here, like
safety.
the columns and the posts and the glowing signs and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, this room right here has a stairwell going up and an open. It's got a very good open concept. I'll go from the outside because it'll be easier. You got people in here gaming and playing and gambling and all these different, you know, mannequins because, you know. And then you got Joey Bello down here doing his comedy routine. Which is kind of funny because he reminds me of Jimmy Dore, if you actually listen to the stuff that comes out of his mouth. It's roughly the same kind of shit. Let's check the top layer now where the giant whale is. So up here they built a stairwell going up. They... I don't understand why, but okay. That's a nice touch. This is kind of a dumb design choice. But hey, everybody has their moments, and They might have been having a moment when they decided to make this roof look like a set of fins on the back of a... I don't know. It's like, the hills are alive. No. The hills are dead. But yeah, as you guys know, I rate everything on a scale of 1 to 10, even places that I don't like. And if you didn't know, the scale works out to where you've got 2 points for a prefab, 1 point for a bathroom, and the rest is all based off of creativity and design choices. It's a neat idea to build an arcade. It's cool that they went with all the pre-existing games in the thing. They didn't build any new ones. They didn't build any of their own. Like, for instance, Hitbit built an arcade and built all the arcade cabinets and a bunch of games inside of it as well. They didn't incorporate any of their building objects into, or their crafting objects into anything to make it look unique or uniquely cool. They did, however, leave a wheelchair out here by the vending machine for those people that are, you know, from Atlantic City. In reality, you'd find those a lot in Florida and some other cities. So I'm going to give this one a 4. Not because it's particularly bad, but because it's not particularly good either. So...
Attempt to acquire a Christmas tree.
And not everything needs to have the lighting
trees
thing.
Contained highly dangerous levels of radiation. Mankind is a
Just going to throw that out there for you.
plague
Although it does
on
add an
this
interesting
gentle
effect to
planet.
the things
Ho,
outside of the border, like the tower
ho.
over there. The lighthouse looks so amazingly weird looking through this lighting effect at it. Let's get a better view of that. See what I mean? Doesn't that just look cool as shit? I mean, it looks like a real lighthouse with this. You can't really make out any of the ground around it or anything else. But it just looks like a lonely white tower hanging out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, this place is definitely a 4. It has potential. It can be improved upon. I'm sure they have loads of budget that they have not even contemplated using. And I do find it amusing that their guns are all facing that direction whenever what's going to come get them is going to... They could easily put one that faces down towards the Slocum Joes down here and handle like half of their problems of what spawns in this area. But hey, that's just a me thing. And like I said, not a bad build, not a great build. I can see potential. But potential is all it's got.